Do it. Make your dreams come true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just do it.
Another one which is really, really, really easy is honesty. It's really easy to be honest. Just tell the truth. And if you tell the truth on a regular basis, we will say you have integrity. That's all it means. These are really basic concepts. So for example, if somebody calls and a secretary picks up the phone and says, Dave's on the phone, and you say, tell him I'm not here, you've just sanctioned lying inside your organization. That's what you've done. You have said that when it suits you, even if these lies are small, you may tell lies. That was dishonest. I went to visit Quantico Marine Base, where the Marine Corps selects their officers. And on the day I was there, true story, I was waiting in a conference room for the colonel in charge of OCS to come and give us a briefing on the base about OCS, about the selection process. And he arrived late. Marines don't ever arrive late. And he showed up late. He came in and apologized. He said, I'm sorry, we've had an incident with one of our Marines. So I go, what happened? You know? He said, well, we're considering throwing him out of OCS, which means throwing him out of the Marine Corps. Like, and I'm thinking, what law did he break? What did he do? So I said, what did he do? And the colonel said, he fell asleep on watch. And I said, that's it? He fell asleep on watch in the woods of Virginia. You know? I'm like, you guys are tough. He said, and then he explained. He said, no, you don't understand. He said, when we asked him about it, he denied it. When we asked him about it again, he denied it again. And only when we gave him irrefutable proof did he say, quote, I want to take responsibility for my actions. The problem we have, he said, is we believe you take responsibility for your actions at the time you perform your actions, not at the time you get caught. We have another Marine who fell asleep on watch. He admitted it. He got punished. We have no problem with him. And he went on to explain, he says, you have to understand, I cannot put this Marine in a leadership position where they're responsible for the lives of other Marines, because if they're in a combat situation and his Marines doubt for 1 second that the words coming out of his mouth are anything but the truth, if they believe for 1 second that the words he is speaking are only to make himself look better or cover his own ass, trust will break down in the whole group and people will die. Now, we are not in life and death situations, but the way our minds interpret information that is given to us is in terms of life and death. This is why we don't trust politicians. They tell us the things we want to hear. We don't prima facie disagree with anything we've been told, but we know that they don't believe the things that they're saying. And so we as human beings, we're very, very smart, and this is always ingrained in us. We always make sure just to keep a safe distance from anybody who we don't believe is honest, because if we were to find ourselves in a life and death situation with them, you know what, if I had to gamble, I'm going to say, won't go with them. When someone is honest, they're willing to tell us good news, they're willing to tell us bad news, they're willing to be upfront with them. Even if it's news that we don't want to hear, even if it's not in our interest, we're okay with it. We actually trust them. Hey, listen, I got to be honest with you. Your performance has been really bad these days. I love this. We're always taught to give sandwiches. Give them the good news before you get to the bad news, right? So give them something general and generic that they don't believe anyway. Hey, you're really smart. And on this one project that you did that you really completely, like, it's really specific when they give us the negative, right? In other words, we didn't believe the positive in the first place. We knew they were just biding their time to get to the negative. Honesty. I'll give you another example of honesty and how we respond to it, okay? We've all had this happen. You get an email that says to you, Dear Simon, I'd get that, you wouldn't get that. If you get that, send it to me. Dear Simon, haven't talked to you in years, hope you're doing well. Congratulations on all your success, it's really amazing. Would love to catch up and get a cup of tea sometime. By the way, if you could go to this website, I'm trying to raise money for a project I'm doing, and I'd really appreciate it if you could vote for me or tweet it out. Thanks a lot, Dave. And what do you do when you get something like that? You're like, you know? Right? Now, what if we simply reverse the information? Dear Simon, I'm trying to raise money for this project I'm doing. Would really appreciate if you could click on the link and vote for me, and maybe even tweet it out. Haven't seen you in years. Hope you're doing really well. Congratulations on all your success. Would love to get together with you for a cup of tea sometime, Dave. In other words, tell me the reason you sent me the email. Right? The niceties are fine, but that's not the reason you sent me the email. It was dishonest. It was disingenuous. Honesty is such a simple thing, right? It's such a simple thing, and when it is afforded to us, we respond with loyalty and trust and commitment and devotion and loyalty, because why wouldn't we? By telling me accurate information, it helps me better survive. I like that. I appreciate that. I'm going to stand next to the honest one. Honesty is king. Hard, but important. And if we screw up, be honest about the screw up. I want you to know I wasn't honest with you. I was in a weird position, and I should have told you the truth, and I didn't. I got embarrassed, and then I made it worse. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm ashamed. You know, like we can be honest about the failings even. We can accept punishments. Great organizations, if people screw up, you can be punished, but it doesn't mean you'll lose your job. If we fear that we will lose our jobs, we don't work in safe organizations. If we fear getting in trouble, that's okay. I mean, we fear getting in trouble from our parents. We don't fear that they're going to throw us out of the house, right? Same thing. Same thing.